Hi girls.
Hey girls, say hey girls.
Hey girls, this is Sawyer. We're in France right now.
What did you eat for dinner?
We ate steak and french fries.
And why were the french fries so good, Sawyer?
Because
they were cooked in duck
food.
Duck fat and not in seed oil.
So it tasted so good. It tastes, first day of France, I can't believe it. It's actually so much fun.
So much fun. Yeah, and they had french fries cooked in duck fat. And what did you think about the chocolate croissants, Sawyer? They were so much flakier here, right?
Yeah, for breakfast, the chocolate was more melted, and there was more chocolate, and it tasted more softer than Marco Island's.
The croissants were softer. The food, 10 out of 10.
I'm just gonna have so much fun in France tomorrow.
Yeah, girl.
See you later, girls.
Bye, girls.
Bye, girls.
You're good. I'm sure I've shared with you girls before, but chocolate croissants are truly our favorite food. So when Kaya booked this private croissant making class with one of the pastry chefs from the Ritz, it was a life-altering experience. The kids absolutely loved it. We learned it takes 3 days to make proper chocolate croissants or croissants in general. This will forever and always be one of my favorite memories from France. Hola girls, and good morning from Portugal. We arrived here in Portugal yesterday, so today is like our first full day here, and after spending 7 days in France, in Paris, walking, doing activities, sightseeing, we figured do the second half of our vacation relaxing by the sea and on the beach. I've never been to Portugal before, neither has Kaya, no one in our family has, so this is our first time being here, and honestly, it is stunning. I have to say, I was so sad to leave Paris. I was nearly in tears because we had the most magical vacation ever. But upon arriving here at the resort, which I will share all of the details for you in the description box down below, but we are at the Pine Cliffs Luxury Resort. I will have all the details for you in the description box down below. But I have to say, upon arriving here, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not missing France so much anymore. So we are here for 6 days, then we do fly back to Paris for 2 more days, and from there fly back to Michigan. But I have to say, all of the prep work that we did in last week's video, that will be linked for you in the description box down below, all of the prep work that we did in last week's video was so helpful to have all of our supplements and our wellness tools here on hand. Aside from that, I have brought my Lumi face brush. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I feel like my skin, I'm not sure if you can tell, let me get to better lighting, like in front of a window, but my skin and my hair, are loving the sea. But also I brought my red light therapy mask, my Zip Halo, and my Lumi face brush. And so I've really been keeping up with my self-care and my wellness practices. Only thing that I did fail at a little bit yesterday was putting on a little extra sunscreen on my chest. So I am disappointed about that. But the reason, I just got back to the hotel room, and the one thing I will say, you can see we have all of our supplements here laid out. I did share all of this in last week's video, so if you missed that video, I will have it linked for you again in the description box down below. But I will say, the thing that has saved me and the entire family the most is all of these tools. So I just finished breakfast, but before we went to breakfast, I took creatine, with me, and I had that with some cold pressed orange juice and pineapple juice. So I'm grateful that I packed all of the bottles that I was a little bit suspect about in these full script bags. You know, when you order from full script, everything comes in these plastic bags. I put the silver in this, and I'm so glad that I did. Otherwise, it would have been all over all of my other supplements. Another thing that we've been using a ton, because we flew from obviously Michigan to France, and then from France to Portugal, and then we'll be flying back from Portugal to France. We've been using the X-Clear nasal spray a ton. This has been so unbelievably helpful, especially for Ronan. He's the one in my family who tends to get a little bit more congested. But so I did take my creatine with me. I also gave this to the kids in their cold pressed orange juice, pineapple juice this morning. They had this, and they had a probiotic. One thing I will say, and I can kind of put like a little clip on the screen here. One thing I will say is that I'm realizing very much how American that we are, me and my family. I mean, so many of us are so American. The juice glasses here are small. One, as they should be. They shouldn't be massive juice glasses. But I brought these probiotic sticks thinking I would be able to give them each their own full one at breakfast. And absolutely not. The juice glasses are this big. And in order for that entire seed probiotic to dissolve, I need a large juice glass, like an American-sized juice glass, which no one needs to be drinking that much juice. Like, I'm loving the European lifestyle over here. We are walking so much. I'll get to that next. I don't want to digress too much. But what I've been doing is I've been doing half of a probiotic in the morning for them and then half at lunch. So they are still getting the full probiotic, but they're sharing one at breakfast and then they're sharing one at lunch. And that way I'm like checking all of those boxes. Also, I've been doing a little bit of the seed probiotic. I am a girl who typically has like no tummy issues. That's not my thing. I've never really dealt with digestive discomfort. Like, that's not something that I deal with personally. But I will say that like I've been enjoying just like a little bit of the seed probiotic. I have our probiotics as well, but I have been enjoying a little bit of this just because I love seed so very much. So this morning the kids had their grapefruit seed extract, they had their probiotic, and then we all had our vitamin D3 plus K2 already this morning. I did take a little bit of turkey tail, again, just for immune support and that beautiful gut flora. I took that already. Another one that I took already this morning was the vitamin C, because again, I got a little bit of too much extra sun, and so boosting up my vitamin C is imperative. But so far, so great. Let me just move this paper bag because I save this every day when I go buy mineral water, which that's a whole nother thing. All of the mineral water in Portugal and in France has been unbelievable. But I've been saving this because we go to the market and buy like fruit, like some apples and some peaches and some bananas and fresh baguettes to have, and a little bit of fresh prosciutto. And I've just been reusing the same bag over and over again. But overall, honestly, girls, this has just been a trip of a lifetime. Like, I said to Kaya this morning, I don't think I've ever been this happy in my entire life. Now, being away from home, we're on what? Let's see, day 10 or day 9 of being away? 10, yes. We've already been gone for 10 days. Another thing, hold on, let me geek out really quick. Another thing is that there is laundry in our room here in Portugal. So when we got here, I was like, oh, there's laundry. I obviously packed enough clothing for us not to have to do laundry. But the fact that there is laundry has been amazing, just because there's like little stains. I did bring some shout wipes. I know it's like very off brand for me, but when you're traveling and you're going to be gone for 16 days, sometimes you have to like pull out all the stops. And shout wipes are game changers, because with a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, we're eating out, we're having drinks, they're drinking green juice every single morning. The resort that we're staying at has beautiful smoothies and green juices, but of course there are spills. So the laundry has been a huge one. But I said to Kaya, I don't think I've ever been this happy in my entire life. Like, honestly, travel is so good for the soul. Like, it is just so incredible for the soul, especially when you can stay on your routines and you can still remain true to your health and wellness goals. And the amount of steps that we are getting every single day is unbelievable, because I'm eating baguettes, I'm eating croissants, I'm doing all of the things. Obviously, I'm like not weighing myself, but I'm feeling strong. Like, my legs are feeling strong, I'm feeling healthy, because we're doing at a minimum of like 17 to 18,000 steps per day. And with 2 small children, that is quite an accomplishment. Girls, we are just getting back from an early dinner because it's actually a few days later from the last time I spoke to you, and we are heading back to France tomorrow in the morning. So we did an early dinner. It's like 6 o'clock here, and I'm getting ready to start packing everything up into the suitcases to head back to France for 2 days before we head home. But one thing I will say that has been so unbelievably helpful and refreshing on this vacation has been the sleep that we have been getting. We have been getting so much incredible, deep, restful sleep. We also have been getting in a ton of steps, a ton of movement. We've been swimming in the sea. We've been swimming in the pools. We've been very, very active. So at the end of the day, we are like crashing. We're also eating so much incredible fresh food here in Portugal. Like every morning, we're starting with smoothies and chia puddings and tons of beautiful protein. And the dinner every single night, we've been having fresh sea bass caught right from the water. It is unbelievable. But the sleep and the movement have been one thing that I feel like has been so restorative about this trip. I'm like resting you on my knee because my arm's getting tired. But I feel like the sleep and the movement and the beautiful eating have been so restorative with this trip. And of course, I brought along all of our supplements, but one supplement in particular is of course the Biooptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough. This is something that neither myself and Kaya can go a single day without having. Truly, like we cannot go a single day without having our magnesium, especially in the morning with all of the beautiful vitamin D that we've been getting. We've been taking one magnesium breakthrough in the morning with our oral vitamin D, in addition to the natural vitamin D that we're getting. And then of course 2 before bed to get the most incredible, deep, restful sleep. I know sometimes on vacation, sleeping in a different setting, in a different area, on a different bed can be a little bit challenging. And so that was one thing that I wanted to ensure, that we got beautiful sleep, we got beautiful movement, and that we nourished our bodies, and of course had the most incredible time. And bringing the magnesium breakthrough was a non-negotiable for me. So the amazing thing about magnesium breakthrough right now in the month of August is that there is an incredible savings of 15% off. So I will have my link for you as well as my code in the description box down below that you can use to take advantage of this August savings for the last couple days. After you're seeing this video, I would encourage you to do so. If you've been curious to try the magnesium breakthrough, or if you're somebody who's tried it and you're a huge fan, then I would highly encourage you to take advantage of this savings and use my link and my code in the description box down below. Good morning, girls, and hello from home. We are indeed home. I wanted to film us last night coming into the house. However, we got home after being up for 24 hours due to the time change, and we were locked out of our house. It is a whole story that I'm not going to go into. Essentially, I told Kaya not to bring our key with us because we have all of these ways to get into our home electronically with security measures and fingerprints and faces and all sorts of security measures. The internet was out when we got home, so we literally could not get into our home for 3 hours. Everybody ended up falling asleep on the couches outside, and then when the internet came back on, by everybody I mean the kids, we transferred them into the home. I did not film that part because it was honestly a very interesting way to end our vacation, but it's one of those things that will be forever in our memories. And the kids, after Sawyer was definitely upset, she's like, I want to be in my house, I want to be in my bed. We're calling my mom to have her bring the key down, but they don't live close by. once we were like, we're glamping, we're kind of sleeping outside, we're camping. And then it was fun, it was an adventure, and definitely a core memory. But I didn't get the clip that I wanted to of us rolling the suitcases back into the house, but we are home. And it feels so good to be home. I'm making my greens. I packed both the Arbonne and the AG1. I've been flipping between the two. I think I've shared that with you girls, that I like to have multiple recommendations for those of you who have a hard time stomaching AG1. I really do like the Arbonne one, but I packed both with us. And while we did consume them most days, I will say that it was a little bit challenging because the beverages, the size of drinks over in Europe are very different than us. Like, they're not getting big glasses of water. It's definitely smaller glasses. And then the bottled water was like 60 ounces of water. So there was kind of a difficulty for me getting in my greens on a daily basis, but I definitely was super consistent with my vitamin D, my magnesium in the morning, my magnesium before bed. We did not miss a single day of that. And right now I'm getting ready to currently take my vitamin D and magnesium with my greens this morning. And so it always feels so good to be home, but that experience was one that I know myself and Kaya and the kids will never forget. Traveling internationally, seeing the way that other people live is such a beautiful way to experience life. And the kids are 7 and 10. They are such good travelers at this point. Like, they truly love exploring, trying new foods, learning about other cultures. Like, they are just sponges. And for that, I'm so glad that Kai and I made the decision to not just do the trip with the two of us, but to travel with the kids. It made it so much more memorable. And I actually just posted a reel. I actually posted 2 reels. One of myself and Sawyer saying how your kids don't need a perfect mom, because we were over there and certain things were falling through the cracks. Like, I was getting emails from the school, I was ordering back to school supplies, I was doing things, and I had a moment and there were certain things that were out of my control, teacher assignments and friends in classrooms, and I had a moment like, your kids don't need a perfect mom. And I posted that in the reel that you're probably seeing here on the screen, how your kids don't need a perfect mom. They need a healthy mom. They need one who is physically healthy, who is mentally healthy, who truly does the best to show up for herself, because then she can truly show up for her children. And then the next reel I posted while we were traveling was me in Portugal, and how, we go on these beautiful vacations and oftentimes you see people spending full days at the spa and getting massages. And while all of those things are amazing and incredible, sometimes just grounding and standing in the sea and absorbing those minerals through your skin truly is the ultimate health hack. And disconnecting, my phone is over there so I don't get feedback, but disconnecting from social media while I was posting. I really wasn't checking a whole bunch, most definitely. I wasn't replying to emails. I was so fully present in it, honestly. Like, I'm not sure if you can feel it through the screen, but it was the nervous system reset that I needed. This summer was beautiful and amazing, and I'm really sad. I'm feeling a lot of emotions. I'm gonna try not to cry right now, but I'm feeling a lot of emotions about school starting. And this summer went by in a blink of an eye, and I was multitasking. I was working mom, content creation mom, practitioner mom, stay-at-home mom, soccer mom, all of the moms. I was that person all at once. And I was definitely feeling stretched thin, but I pushed myself to be right where my feet were all summer long, and to be with my children when I could be with them, and to be present with them when I was with them, and then to let them play, to let them read, to let them watch a movie, and be at work and be fully present when I could in the pockets of time, that the very little pockets of time that I had. And I think because I really threw myself in, like, I really immersed myself into it this summer, it went by so quickly. And there's so much that I want to share with you girls. There's been so many life changes that have been happening that honestly at the time felt really hard. Like May, June, July felt really challenging, like something unexpected life situations that happened that I felt like, why is this happening? But sometimes space and presence and processing things, you can really see like, wow, I was meant to grow from this experience. I was meant to be gifted an abundance of time because this life situation changed. I now have a ton more time in my life. Like, things have happened and changed, and I feel like sometimes I'm the type of person who likes things to go a certain way, but I felt like I embraced change so much this summer, and it has been undeniably a life-changing summer. And ending it in the way that we did on this vacation was just the ultimate way to wrap it up in a bow, because I feel like I've grown so much. I feel like the kids have grown so much. I feel like our love, if this is possible, our family, our love has just deepened so much this summer with the amount of time that we were spending together and the adventures that we were taking and hosting so many of our closest friends and family. You just learn to love and appreciate the real people in your life. And truly, you just deeply, I'm a deep lover. Like, I just deeply love people. And I feel like it's been a transformational summer of gratitude and grounding and love and nervous system nourishment that, while I am so sad for the kids to go back, they feel very ready to go to school. And for that, I'm happy. I'm happy that they feel so safe. They feel so comfortable. They feel excited to explore and go into the next season of life. And that, to me, as a parent, is like, what more could I want? So while the video didn't end, this video and last week's video, my goodness, girls, thank you for all of your support on last week's video. If you would have seen the video last week, you know what I'm talking about, but you can always check out my website, jessicaspiers.com. You can check out the blog, get all of the details. If you're in Living Well, then you saw the full post. You got a bit more detail there because that is the membership site where we can speak openly and freely in that space. I appreciate your support with that. That video went much different, and it was the last 2 days we were on vacation. Talk about a nervous system reset. I was hit with that on our last 2 days. I had a moment, 45 minutes, not a moment, 45 moments, to be honest with you, where I was like fighting it, like, no, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And I was like, you know what, Jessica, let's take a deep breath. I did a little bit of tapping. I did a little bit of cold exposure. I did a facial ice bath. Truly, I did tapping, a facial ice bath. I did some deep breathing. I was like, no, we're not gonna fight this right now. We're going to enjoy our last 48 hours of vacation, because we flew back to France from Portugal. And I was like, I'm not gonna do this right now. This is not the time to let that situation linger and ruin the end of this beautiful vacation. And I can do that because of how nourished my nervous system was. Jessica, who, obsessively would have tried to control the situation, 6-7 years ago, would have really tried to fight and make that work. But instead, I just was like, this is what's happening, and it's gonna be okay. No matter what happens, it's going to be okay. And so I hope that you girls enjoyed today's video, and I hope that you see that sometimes taking a break, we've done a lot of little weekends this summer at my parents' house. So whether it's a really big vacation, one that we were planning for 3 years, 3 years we were planning this vacation. So whether it was a really big once in a lifetime vacation or 24 hours or 48 hours away, whatever it is, that sometimes just getting out of your environment and throwing yourself into different culture, different life experiences, it does change you. And especially seeing it through your children's eyes is like, honestly, I'm like emotional talking about it. Like, seeing it through your children's eyes is just a gift that I will forever be so grateful for. And, you can do these things and you can maintain your health while you're on the go, and you can get deep rest. That was the best part. All of the deep rest and swimming in the sea and absorbing those minerals and eating the beautiful food that was cooked in a different capacity than we do here in the United States on a regular basis. It just, you feel different. You feel different. You see life different, even if it's temporarily, you see life different. And I just feel so grateful for the life experience. And so while it was supposed to be 40 in France last summer, the Olympics shifted things, and I'm glad that it did. I'm glad that it did. The kids are a year older. My life is very different than it was last summer, and I was able to really fully appreciate and embrace the moments while we were there. Like, I was able to just be where my feet are and be with my family and, connecting with my best of friends. And oh my goodness, girls, that's one more thing I do have to share. Speaking of all of my best girlfriends, I have been like the fairy godmother. So it was my mom's birthday the day we got back. My best girlfriend Jenny's birthday is in a few days after you're seeing this, and my best girlfriend Sharina's birthday is the day this video is going live. And so I have been like the fairy godmother of France and Portugal, coming home with the La de Rey macaroons. You would have seen in the footage that we went to La de Rey. Well, we went back after Portugal. We went back to France. We went and got macaroons, girls. I came back with 20 boxes of macaroons for my neighbors who are helping with our house. Another one of my neighbors, Jen, whose birthday, my best girlfriend Jenny's birthday, and my best girlfriend Sharina's birthday, my mom's birthday, and beautiful Portuguese salt. And so somebody that I used to know had gone to Portugal like a year ago, and she had brought back some salt for me, and it was so delicious and amazing. And so when we were in Portugal, I was like, no, I need to get salt for all of my best friends. And so my best girlfriend from Tennessee was in town when we landed. And so I got some Portuguese salt and macaroons for her and for my business partner, and then all of my best girlfriends this week. I've been running around, and this is the final one that I need to get to my mother-in-law, the macaroons and the Portuguese salt. But this salt is unlike any other salt. They literally comb it from the sea. And when I was saying that we were sleeping so good in Portugal, I know I mentioned that too, we were sleeping so good because of all of the minerals we were absorbing through our skin. I had to pick this up. And so I was so excited because I was running low on a bag that had been gifted to me from someone. And so I went and I bought 20 of these, and I've delivered them out to everybody, and I've stored some for us. I gave my best girlfriends a few of them, my mom a few of them, and now this is for my mother-in-law, the last little delivery. But the macaroons from La de Rey, oh my goodness. Girls, like you eat the food over there, and I know many of you are from the States, many of you are not, but you eat the food over there and you just feel different. Like you just feel different. Like the gluten is different, the sugar is different, as you would have seen and as you heard me say when we did our croissant making class. And our pastry chef works at the Ritz Paris, which, like, if you're a pastry chef in Paris and you get a job at the Ritz, that's essentially like playing for the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, like, the best football team, right? The one that wins the Super Bowl all the time. If you're a football player and you make that team, that's essentially like if you're a pastry chef in Paris and you get a job at the Ritz. She was saying to us how she came to America, to the Ritz in New York, and how she was trying to work with our dough, and it was impossible for her to work with our dough. And I was like, I know. So I could eat countless macaroons and I never got a headache. I never got a stomach ache. And so that has also been so fun, being with my family, but at the same time, being so appreciative for the people that I love back home, and giving them their gifts this weekend has been beautiful to see the excitement in their face. And so I'm a huge fan of gift giving, especially when it's something that I know people will love. But I want to thank you girls so much for watching today's video, and I appreciate you hanging out with us over on our vacation. And I'm excited to move into the new season. This is probably, I think, my last video of August. This should be the last video of August. We move into September. And you know what September means? Fall content is starting. And when you're seeing this video, our fall challenge just opened the day before in Living Well, and it starts this weekend, the Sunday before Labor Day. So when you're watching this video, the Fall Foundations Challenge is live inside Living Well. Time to get excited. I'm already planning my fall bake with me. I've honestly already been planning my holiday bake with me, but my fall bake with me is like 85% ironed out. So everything is pretty much planned. Then we're working with our photographer to get those recipes shot and ready to go on the website for me to film the video. So I am really excited for the fall content. I appreciate you and your time. It's so valuable, and I am so grateful that you would be willing to spend it here with me. So thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.